Alright, welcome back to the Advanced Pokemon Enterprise. We are currently at week 2, and we are starting the season off strong with a win and a +2 differential. And our opponent this week is GiveTheGoblinSomeGold, who is the coach for the Dundee Comet Punch. And looking at their roster for this week, it's actually pretty terrifying. Pokemon such as Dragapult, Clefable, Mega Gallade, even Nidoqueen could be a bit of a threat. And honestly, this team is going to be really difficult to plan for. So, looking at the team, these are actually the 6 Pokemon we're expecting to see come up. Even though Nidoqueen itself can be a bit terrifying, I have a feeling that it's going to be put in the back due to our numerous water types. So, we'll see what happens. But with these Pokemon in mind, and then the others in the background as potential threats, this is the team we are bringing to today's match. And for the most part, it looks fairly standard for a few of them. Ecclesia, our Togekiss, are going to be a bit more of an offensive Pokemon in general, despite having a lot more bulk. The reason for that is simply because she has access to plenty of different moves that can help kind of deal with coverage in general, so she'll be helpful in that regard. Fortress is actually going to be our, I guess you could say our Heatmon for the week, because even though the Pokepaste doesn't actually show it, Fortress is holding a Custap Berry. So basically what's going to happen here is the goal is going to be to start with Fortress, let it go down to Sturdy, get up a Stealth Rock or some other entry hazard, and then use the Custap Berry to get the first attack off, and depending on what the opponent's got, maybe hit with something like a Rock Slide, or a potential Rapid Spin if they decide to go the first turn with an entry hazard of their own. So, that's going to be interesting, and hopefully that can work out. The other big noticeable detail for us is, in fact, our... where is it? Oh, there he is. Our Aegislash is our big one. So, our Aegislash is actually a special attacker this week, mainly because the roster that Goblin has is a little bit weaker in special defense regarding Aegislash's advantages. So we're going to make use of that, and Shadowsteak is there as well to help deal with potential threats regarding type coverage. So type coverage and priority. So that's going to be a big one. And yes, that is a weakness policy on him. If he can live a super effective hit, which in shield form he should be able to, he could get a +2 attack and special attack off and be a huge threat for us. So, the only other one... Oh. Hang on 1 minute. Okay, that's a bit odd. For some reason, the Pokepaste didn't end up including Roshi's 4th move, but rest assured, that is going to be Zen Headbutt, primarily to help deal with potential Nidoqueens and other problems. However, looking through the team, I am definitely not as worried about some of his Pokemon as backup options, namely a Scavalier, because we have Fire Punch on Zeraora, we have Flamethrower on Ecclesia, and of course Heata's here and can outspeed regardless. So guys, this is the team we're bringing, and hopefully we could get a W for this week and keep our streak alive. So let's get into it. Alright, so here we are into the battle, and it's actually a little bit different than I was anticipating. We see the Dragapult, we see the Gallade, we see the Clefable, but the Porygon Z, the Nidoqueen, and the Mandibuzz are a bit surprising to me. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get things started. So Mandibuzz is definitely there and going to be a defogger, so we have to pay attention to that. So I guess the question is, do we want to start off with Xeno and get a Volt Switch off onto anything that isn't Nidoqueen, or do we want to go ahead and start with Fortress right away? I think we're going to go ahead and start with the Fortress. Okay, and Koropeko the Porygon Z. Okay. I'm willing to bet this thing is probably Scarfed. Makes me wonder what exactly he's going to do with that, but either way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set Stealth Rock to get things started. Oh, Porygon Z starts with Trick. Interesting. So he gave us a Choice Scarf. That's actually really interesting. Okay. I'm very curious as to why he would do that. I mean, granted, I get now we have to switch out, but that actually kind of works for us. So, okay, so the question is, what the hell is he going to do next is the big one. Let's see, he can either, I'm guessing he's probably going to either try attack, flamethrower, ice beam, something along those kind of lines. So I guess we really just have to hope and pray that we pick right here. Thankfully, Porygon Z is no longer Scarfed, which actually makes a big difference for us. So honestly, I kind of like taking, honestly, I kind of like the idea of switching into Roshi, because Roshi's actually not going to be super good against this team, so I'm kind of okay if we lose him. Oh, and we actually survive. That's a shocker. Okay, so we get to Mega Evolve. The question is, what do we want to do? Do we want to just fake out and see what happens? Is he expecting the fake out? Is he going to switch into Dragapult? 306, 259. Well, actually, we should be faster. I believe we're faster, so we're going to go ahead and actually go for the Zen Headbutt. Okay, so he switched into Clefable. That's big. Okay, and okay, so let's think here. He can switch out into Mandibuzz because he's probably expecting another Zen Headbutt here. So the question is, do we go into Zen Headbutt again, or do we go into Mandibuzz, or do we go into Thunder Punch expecting the Mandibuzz? Because if we go Thunder Punch and he stays in, he can Soft Boiled. I think we're going to Zen Headbutt, because even if we take that, we can at least get a Thunder Punch off, deal some damage, and be good with that. Okay, so he sticks in, he lets Clefable die. That's actually huge for us. And there's the Dragapult. Okay. Interesting. I wonder why he would do that. Now, I'm willing to bet this thing is Scarfed. I am almost guaranteeing that. So the question is, do we want to let Roshi fall at this point? Or do we keep Roshi in the back for priority's sake? Because the thing is, Roshi doesn't really do anything for Porygon Z. And none of the ones, aside from Nidoqueen, really have anything that matter here. And even then, I feel like Hita could probably come in and Psychic that. So I think we're better off just Bullet Punching. Let's Bullet Punch, deal some damage, and see what happens here. Okay, so that dealt a good amount, and Thunderbolt to finish him off. Okay, interesting. So the question now is, is that Scarfed? We don't know. We don't know if it's Scarfed. It probably has Infiltrator, so Clear Body, stat drops might not matter. Curse Body probably doesn't matter. But honestly, okay, so we're going to actually switch into Zeraora. We're going to switch into Xeno. And honestly, I think Knockoff is the best move. Because at this range, Knockoff will absolutely kill Dragapult. It'll deal good damage to anything except for the Mandibuzz, and it'll knock off an item. So let's do that. Okay, goes into Nidoqueen. Knockoff does a little bit of damage, takes out the black sludge. Okay. Question is, what is he doing now? He's probably going to go... I'm expecting an... Let's see. He's probably either going to go for a ground-type attack, which would mean Earth Power or Earthquake, or a poison attack anticipating our Ecclesia. And honestly, I feel like Ecclesia is kind of important for this, so I don't want to risk... I don't want to risk her. Forest, honest... Or, oh wait, he might also anticipate... We might also be looking at a Stealth Rock setup here. Which, if that happens, then we're kind of in trouble there. Then again, we do have Fortress available, so we could realistically get it in Rapid Spin if we need to somewhere. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch into Hita. Hita should be able to... Oh, that's an Earth Power. That's a rough one. Okay. Okay, so Goblin was just going for the simple option there. That's not good. Okay, so I guess the question now is, does he anticipate Psychic, or does he go for... So does he anticipate Psychic and switch into Mandibuzz, or does he not anticipate that and stay in thinking he's going to be faster? Well, no, he's not going to think he's faster. He knows he's slower. So he's probably going to switch. I don't like that. I really don't like this. Especially because with Hita this low, that means that if they manage to get rocks up, Hita's basically as good as dead. And looking at the rest of his team, this is really the only thing Hita has left at this point. So screw it, we gotta go for Psychic. And Immune. Okay. That's no big deal though, because... Well, actually this is kind of a big deal, because he's probably gonna go for Defog now. Also, I just realized he didn't take any damage, so that means he's got heavy-duty boots on. That's good to know. This is tough, because we can't just switch into Xeno and then go for a Volt Switch, because Nidoqueen is going to be there to take that hit, and then we're kind of in trouble. But Ecclesia seems like an obvious pick here. Yeah, you know what? Why not? We're going to switch into Ecclesia. Oh, and he misses the Toxic. That's a rough one. Okay. So, we're going to... Okay, so the question is, do we Dazzling Gleam? Yeah, we're going to Dazzling Gleam. We could deal damage. He switches back into Nidoqueen. Okay. Take some rocks. Takes a little bit of damage. Now I'm expecting the poison attack. The question is, will we actually survive that? I think we will. I think our move is to go into Psychic here. Because we should be able to live a Sludge Wave or a Sludge Bomb either way, and then we could take it down with Psychic. Then again, Ecclesia is kind of... Ecclesia does actually do a lot of damage against most of Goblin's team here. So I guess the real question is, do we risk that now? Because we're probably not going to get much of a chance to roost again. No, I say we take it. Oh, we outspeed! Wait, what? We outspeed? Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay, so that actually works out really nicely for us then. Wow. Oh, this is actually going to be interesting because now rocks are up, which is a problem for him. his rocks are not up for us, which is huge for us. I'm actually really surprised we outsped there. Okay, so we know he's got Shadow Ball. We know he's got Trick. He's got a Custap Berry, so we also have to be very mindful of that. He's probably got Thunderbolt, and he's definitely outspeeding us here. The question is, do I want to... Well, actually, now that I think about it, if I'm expecting Thunderbolt, I can switch into Xeno, take that. Assuming he doesn't go into something else, I should be able to live that, and then I can Volt Switch more or less freely now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go for that. If I'm wrong on there, then so be it. Ice Beam, okay. That's actually not that bad. So, now the question is, do I knock off... Let's see, do I knock off, do I close combat to go for the guaranteed KO here? Or do I go for the simple Volt Switch? He's used Ice Beam, he's got Shadow Ball. So the question there becomes now, does he have... I'm guessing he doesn't have Thunderbolt, which means he might have Tri-Attack. I'm gonna Volt Switch. Okay, there's the Gallade. That did not very much. That didn't do very much. I'm not too surprised there. Okay, so the question is, what do we go? Who do we switch into here? Because Mega Gallade does have access to priority, and I'm not entirely sure. Let's do that. I'm feeling a bit ballsy here, but unless he switches back, unless he's gonna switch back into, let's see, unless he decides to switch back into Porygon, we should be clear. And even if he switches back into Porygon, we should live that. So we're gonna hit the Shadow Ball button and see what happens. It'll take out Gallade. It'll more or less take out Gallade. Yeah, it's gonna take out Gallade for sure. We live that, and we get the free +2, which is huge. Shadow Ball is gonna kill Gallade, hands down. There's Porygon Z. See, here's the only issue here, is the fact that Porygon Z is not gonna let us take a hit. Shadow Ball is probably gonna be enough to kill us, which is disappointing. But Shadow Sneak, I think Shadow Sneak might be enough to kill there, so we probably should switch? Okay, let me think. So Xeno's still here. Xeno can still outspeed Dragapult. We know that. Hita, honestly, is probably not very useful to us at this point. Yeah, we're going to switch into Hita. Hita, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to go. Shadow Ball is going to take her down. And then... So we're going to switch back into Xeno. And I guess the question now becomes, do we want to Volt Switch again? Or do we just want to go full force? Close combat will definitely kill this thing. But close combat might do some damage to Mandibuzz, but I feel like Volt Switch is the smarter choice, especially because we currently have a Mon lead, so that kind of helps. Okay, so he's taking that hit. Interesting. What is he going into? He might be going into Ice Beam. I feel like he's going to go for Ice Beam, so we're going to switch into Forest. Tri-Attack. Oh, okay. Okay, so 235. We're still slower, but let's go for the Rock Slide. Let's hope for the best here. Forest is basically death fodder at this point anyway. This is tough. Ecclesia, well, actually no, yeah, we could go Ecclesia because then I just have to go in to, like, if he goes into any of them, I could just come in. Okay, so there's Dragapult. And Rock Slide misses, of course. That's a problem. Well, go big or go home. And there's the Flamethrower. Sorry, Forest. Okay. The move is definitely to go into Xeno. The question is, though, what do we do now? Do we switch? Do we go for knockoff, which will basically guarantee a kill just about on anything except Mandibuzz, or do we go for Volt Switch? The problem with Volt Switch is, if we do that, Dragapult's gonna live. Well, then again, Mandibuzz, if Mandibuzz comes in on the knockoff, it loses Boots, and then Mandibuzz has only Toxic, so Foul Play might be all it can do at that point, and Ecclesia can handle that no problem. Okay, we're gonna go for the knockoff. There's the... Okay, and there goes the Boots. So it's Toxic. We're gonna go into Ecclesia. There's the Foul Play. Okay, that helps a lot here. We're gonna... No, what am I thinking? Dazzling Gleam does super effective here, super effective on Dragapult, and Porygon Z is low enough that it doesn't really matter as much. So Porygon Z's taking the hit, gonna die. Okay. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so he did that. Why was he doing that? Like, why did he sack off Porygon Z? Mandibuzz is here. Mandibuzz is basically screwed. Thing is, Mandibuzz is kind of screwed at this point because we have access to Volt Switch. And then after Volt Switch, we could just switch back into... Basically, Xeno is going to be our end game here. Okay, so there's that. Okay, okay, let's do this real quick. We need to... We're gonna assume Dragapult is Specs here. Let's assume Specs. And then... I believe Togekiss was 248, 260. I think. We'll say Calm. Shadow Ball does not do a lot, but Thunderbolt. How much does Thunderbolt do? 45 to 53. And Dazzling Gleam, 85 to 100. Okay, so Togekiss should realistically survive anything here, and Dazzling Gleam into infinity. There's the 53. There's the Dazzling Gleam to finish that off. Okay. And now Ecclesia basically just comes in, spams Dazzling Gleam until it dies. Okay, missed another Toxic. Man, that is depressing. I feel bad for Goblin on that one. And then Dazzling Gleam finishes it off. Oh! Oh, we speed tied. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that I did not expect, but alright, we won, and a 3-0 too. Okay. That was definitely a lot more tactical than I was expecting, but that's pretty good. So, we're going to go into the post-game in just a moment. So, okay, so post-match discussion. Not gonna lie, looking at the stats down here, this is not at all what I was expecting the results to look like. I sure as hell did not expect Togekiss to go on a 4-mon killing spree here, but alright, I guess that happened, so that was a good match, though. I'll give him I definitely have to say that. Now, moving on to the MVP, clearly it has to be Ecclesia the Togekiss, because, I mean, not only did Togekiss get 4 kills here, but she also managed to dodge 2 Toxics from Mandibuzz, which one of them was not necessarily going to be as important, but the other one definitely could have made a big impact over time. she lived a Thunderbolt from Dragapult to be able to get the final hit off on it. And then on top of that, she took out 3 Mons after she was sent out realistically to just be used as death fodder. So, to be entirely honest, she managed to kick some serious ass on this week, and I'm really surprised by that. So yeah, good job, Ecclesia. You've reached MVP for the week. So, moving on to the next week's matchup, we have ourselves a match against the Worcester Whoops, who are currently 1-1 with a neutral differential, and they have a pretty strong team on their own, so we're going to have to see what happens. But guys, that's the end of this episode. We will catch you guys next week. Have a great night.